Krishna-Dwaipayana Vyasa, the Bhagavad Gita. Dive into the profound teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, a timeless dialogue that distills the essence of ancient wisdom. This powerful narrative unfolds on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, a setting layered with symbolic significance, representing the eternal struggle between good and evil within every human soul. At its heart, however, lies the transforming conversation between Prince Arjuna and Krishna, his divine charioteer. Faced with moral and psychological dilemmas, Arjuna is paralyzed by his role in the devastating war. Through Krishna's penetrating insights, readers journey through rich themes of duty, the nature of the soul, and the quest for spiritual peace. Discover the key to transcending the chaotic cycle of desire and karma, understanding the detachment from outcomes, and embracing a life of devotion and purposeful action. Join us in exploring how this ancient scripture offers pathways to find balance and clarity amid life's battles.
Kurukshetra's inner battle. Kurukshetra is not just a physical location, it symbolizes the timeless conflict within every human soul between good and evil. This theme is central to the Bhagavad Gita, though its significance is best grasped within the broader narrative of the Mahabharata, a vast epic detailing a violent struggle for power in ancient India's kingdom of Bharata. The tale begins with the death of Bharata's king, which sparks a conflict over succession. The kingdom is divided between the blind elder brother, Dhritarashtra, who takes the throne, and the rightful claimant, Pandu, whose supporters are exiled for 13 years. Upon their return, these exiles, known as the Pandavas, move to reclaim their rightful rulership, leading to the outbreak of war. As both factions eagerly seek alliances, they turn to Krishna, a wise sovereign with ties to each side. Krishna pledges personal guidance to the Pandavas while lending his forces to their adversaries. He refuses to fight, choosing instead to drive the chariot for Arjuna, the foremost Pandava warrior. On the eve of battle, Arjuna falters, overwhelmed by the prospect of bloodshed and fratricide, ignited by their aspirations for power. He loses his will to fight, discarding his bow and sinking into despair on the battlefield. Recognizing that their victory hinges on Arjuna, Krishna seeks to reignite his spirit. This moment transcends a simple motivation. Krishna's insights, delivered through hundreds of verses, become foundational teachings. Krishna probes into the roots of Arjuna's own turmoil, guiding him to confront the deeper moral and philosophical questions. Through these teachings, Krishna does more than prepare Arjuna for war, he imparts wisdom on duty, righteousness, and the nature of life itself. The resolution sees Arjuna prepared to engage in battle again, now enlightened by Krishna's counsel. As the Bhagavad Gita's narrative closes, Arjuna's inner conflict is quelled, and he steps forward to fulfill his role, armed not just with weapons, but with newfound clarity and purpose. Navigating duty and soul. Arjuna finds himself in turmoil, not just physically but deeply within, wrestling with the prospect of facing his own kin on the battlefield. His mind is plagued by two principal concerns. The first is psychological distress as he grapples with the imminent loss of cherished family members in this war. He questions the merit of a conflict where brother turns against brother. The second is a moral dilemma, torn between his duty to fight as a warrior and his obligation to protect his family, which, if neglected, risks unraveling the fabric of society. In response, Krishna, his divine charioteer, presents a perspective rooted in ancient Indian philosophy. He implores Arjuna to remember that truly learned individuals do not mourn the dead, as their existence transcends physical death. Our souls predate our birth and persist beyond bodily death. The body, Krishna explains, is merely a transient home for the soul, much like garments that are discarded for new ones. This concept of the soul's journey, or transmigration, offers a resolution to Arjuna's conflict. Only the body perishes in battle, the soul remains unscathed. If the war is just, Krishna assures Arjuna, then there is no reason to grieve the deaths that inevitably occur. Addressing Arjuna's conflicting responsibilities, Krishna emphasizes that Arjuna's ultimate duty, as a warrior, is to participate in a just war, even if it means confronting his relatives. This duty overrides familial obligations due to the inherent nature of his warrior caste. It is paramount, Krishna asserts, to act according to one's innate duties, even if imperfectly executed, rather than striving to fulfill a duty that belongs to another. While Krishna has addressed Arjuna's mental and moral struggles, he isn't finished. He introduces the concept of the bondage of action, teasing the unraveling of another profound discourse on how Arjuna might liberate himself from this binding cycle of deeds and consequences. Here, the conversation transitions from reconciling inner turmoil to embracing one's deeper understanding of duty and existence. Path to selfless action. Let's delve into a fascinating journey through ancient Indian philosophy, where Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism confront the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, not as something desirable, but as a trap to escape. These traditions view the material world as an illusion, where true enlightenment is found by grasping eternal truths beyond our visible reality. In this view, humans are driven by desires, insatiable flames that fuel our endless pursuit of wealth, status, and pleasure. These pursuits, however, are ultimately empty, leaving us trapped in a cycle of unfulfilled longing. Krishna, a central figure in Hindu philosophy, calls this cycle the bondage of action. Each desire-driven action adds to our karma, a spiritual residue that clings to the soul and perpetuates our entrapment in the material world. To escape this cycle, these religions advocate for the renunciation of desire. This path to enlightenment is exemplified by the Buddha's relinquishment of worldly attachments to seek wisdom in solitude. However, Krishna offers a different path, one that harmonizes the pursuit of enlightenment with active engagement in the world. Instead of turning away from life, Krishna advises Arjuna to detach from the outcomes of his actions. Focus solely on the act itself, without concern for success or failure. By divorcing action from desire, one can achieve a state where the self, burdened by cravings, withdraws, making room for selfless deeds. It is through such actions, devoid of the desire for rewards, that individuals can achieve true freedom, known as nirvana to Buddhists and moksha to Hindus. In essence, Krishna teaches that fulfilling one's duties with complete detachment from their results leads us to a higher state of consciousness. It's about doing what is right for its own sake, liberating oneself from the cycle of desire-induced suffering, and unlocking the potential for genuine, purposeful living. Divine Devotion Unveiled. Imagine a conversation where the nature of human connection to the divine becomes as clear as looking into a mirror. In The Song of the Lord, the profound link between humanity and the divine unfolds through the concept of bhakti, or devotion, a central tenet that shapes the spiritual landscape of Hinduism and other Indian religions. Krishna, the godly counselor, reveals to the warrior Arjuna that true devotion is an act of selflessness. The focus is not on the rewards one may gain but on the sincerity of the act itself. When one makes an offering to a deity, such as Krishna, it's the devotion that counts, not the expectations of divine favor. The essence of Krishna's teachings is illuminated further with the revelation of his own divinity. As Arjuna listens in awe, Krishna shares that he has imparted wisdom to leaders and beings from times immemorial, even before Arjuna became conscious of his cyclical journey through rebirth. Unlike Arjuna, whose cycles of life and death have been veiled in unconsciousness, Krishna consciously chooses to incarnate into the world. He reveals that his purpose is to appear whenever justice falters, embodying righteousness in a form that humanity can understand, an avatar, a tangible presence of the Supreme Being on earth. Krishna's majestic proclamation comes with a challenge for the seeker of truth: how should one approach such a being? The answer lies in devotion as a discipline that marries knowledge with action. No deed is too small if performed with genuine heartfelt devotion. Krishna assures that offerings as simple as a leaf, flower, or water, when presented with true devotion, are treasured, as they stem from the heart. This practice of devotion untangles the mind from its attachment to the outcomes of actions, leading one toward true selflessness. Through the lens of Krishna's teachings, dedicating every action as a service of devotion transforms the practitioner. It liberates one from the chains of self-interest, allowing a deeper unity with the divine. When one perceives Krishna in all that exists and recognizes all within Krishna, a spiritual bond forms that transcends the physical realm. This mutual connection ensures that neither the devotee nor Krishna will disappear from each other's presence. In devotion, selflessness is attained, bridging the gap between the divine and the mundane. Krishna offers a path where the divine is not a distant overseer but an intimate presence, mirrored in every action performed with love and sincerity. Divine Revelation. Krishna, embodying divine might, offers Arjuna a glimpse beyond mortal comprehension, manifesting as a form so vast it encapsulates every deity in the Indian pantheon. With a multitude of limbs and faces expanding across the cosmos, Krishna reveals his infinite nature to the awestruck warrior. Overwhelmed, Arjuna feels the ground vanish beneath him, his soul shuddering at the unfolding spectacle. Yet the vision intensifies as Krishna transforms into a fiery force of destruction, foretelling the impending conflict. In this unsettling revelation, Arjuna witnesses the military forces of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, who have gathered for battle at the plains of Kurukshetra, rushing like moths into Krishna's blazing maw, only to be crushed or swallowed by its terrifying vastness. Puzzled and shaken, Arjuna questions the nature of such a deity. Krishna declares himself as Time, the relentless destroyer of worlds, here to obliterate these men. Through this, Krishna asserts his dual role as both creator and destroyer, unraveling the enigmatic answer to Arjuna's inner turmoil. The fate of the battle rests not in the strategies of the two rival forces but in the hands of Krishna, the supreme orchestrator. Urged by Krishna to rise and claim his destined victory, Arjuna learns that his role is merely to act as an instrument of divine will. Empowered by this realization, he accepts his path, lifts his bow, and prepares to do his duty, acknowledging that the events have been preordained. With clarity, Arjuna embraces his part in the grand design, understanding that his actions align with a divine plan already set in motion.
As we conclude our exploration of the Bhagavad Gita, we emerge with timeless insights on life's fundamental questions of duty, self, and devotion. Krishna's teachings navigate Arjuna, and us, through the complexities of moral and existential conflicts, offering the wisdom to act with purpose free from the snares of desire. The concept of bhakti, or devotion, emerges as a central theme, linking human duty to divine understanding, inviting a practice of selflessness in everyday actions. Krishna's revelation of his divine nature underscores the omnipresence of the divine in all things, reminding readers of the interconnectedness of life and spirituality. Ultimately, Arjuna's journey reflects our own avenues toward enlightenment and peace amidst adversity. May the lessons from this profound dialogue inspire us to fulfill our duties with integrity and cultivate a heart resilient to the impermanent chaos of the world around us.